Welcome to Toffee TV, it's the Everton News Daily. Fabio Capello has had his say on Wayne Rooney's time at Everton, which seems a bit weird now because he's at DC United preparing for the new MLS season. But he said that he's seen a different Wayne Rooney when he came to Everton. He said he lost all his characteristics, fighting and running and doing some, being the most important player for the team. He said he was just like another member of the team. Which is interesting, considering that Wayne Rooney was coming back to his boyhood club. That's how Capello's seen it. I suppose in the one season he was back at Everton, there were moments when we seen the old Wayne Rooney. I find that quite interesting that he said that though, because for me, Wayne Rooney was never given the authority I think he should have been given when he was back at Everton Football Club. For me, I would have made him captain straight away and told him to get on the pitch and really be the leader. He was at times, he did it on his own. But I just think at times while he was at Everton that they played down his characteristics because it was a controversial return and the things that unfolded while he was at Everton. So Fabio Capello obviously feels like he took a step down when he went to Everton and we didn't benefit from all those leadership elements of his game that he developed when he was at Manchester United. So interesting point of view. I just wonder whether Wayne Rooney, if he had pushed more and had been more of a leader and maybe being that voice in the dressing room, whether Everton would have been in such trouble last season, and whether he'd still be at the club now if Everton thought that they could rely on him, because obviously he wasn't Wayne Rooney in his pomp, but we do see a lot of footballers who go past the pomp but still harness the elements of leadership and experience that you need. I mean, it wasn't so long ago we had Gareth Barry in our side, and when we let him go, a lot of fans felt that we let him go too early. And even now, the players that we've got at the club, there's no real leader out on the pitch, and you just wonder whether if Wayne Rooney had instilled straight away that on the club. I think of someone like Phil Neville when he came into the club and he was immediately made captain, and immediately he stamped everything that he'd learned from Manchester United onto the team and become that leader straight away. And it's a shame that Wayne Rooney didn't do that or wasn't allowed to do that, because I think we would have felt the benefit of that for maybe 2 or 3 seasons rather than just the one. But there you go. That's just my opinion on it. But Fabio Capello obviously thinks something on similar lines. It's been reported Everton sent a scout to Croatia over the weekend to watch HNK Rijeka versus Hajduk Split. Obviously Split, who we played a couple of years ago, last year even, the year before, last season, and we brought Vlasic from. So it looks like Everton are monitoring someone at the game. Don't know which side, but listen, this shows you how much news there is out there at the moment. Very, very quiet. They haven't even gone away on warm weather training to give us something to talk about. They've stayed at home, so we've got very, very little to talk about. But it does seem like Everton sent a scout to that game. I know. What do you want me to say? It looks like a young Everton player has left. Pedro Neves, under 18s Brazilian. He's been pictured wearing a Reading tracksuit and saying on Instagram, I think, new home. So it looks like he's left the club and he's gone to pastures new. Obviously this happens all the time. He might have been out of contract at the end of the season and Everton have decided to let him go now, and Reading have picked him up maybe for the remaining of the season. It does happen all the time at that level. If young players are not going to continue, then they'll be moved on, and clubs like Reading will pick these players up if they're good talents. So we wish him well and wait to see whether he gets a quicker journey to playing championship football soon. We'll wait and see. Talking about the youth ranks, under 23s played last night. They won 2-0 against Blackburn. Goals from Hornby and Basasambu give Everton a 2-0 win to take them 4 points clear, I think, from Reading, actually. In Premier League 2. So I think they have to win. If they win another 3 games, I think, they'll win the league. I think there's only something like that, or 4. If they win 4 of the 5 games at least, I think they've got 5 games left. They'll win the Premier League 2 for the second time in 3 years. Be interesting to see. It'd be interesting if Everton were in a safer place, whether any of those players could step up. I think Basasambu's out of contract at the end of the season, so it looks like he might move on. But obviously Fraser Hornby's been injured for a lot this season. He obviously played last season in Limassol. Big, strong Scottish centre forward. We do like them. It'd be interesting whether if Everton were in a better position, whether there could be a chance he could possibly get on the bench or whatever. Morgan Feeney at the back, the leader for this team, again a player who suffered from injuries and only came back into the under-23s in the last couple of months or so. In the last few weeks he's actually travelled with the Everton first team, with there being a lack of centre backs available. He's been in the squad but not actually made it onto the bench. He's another one. He's a proper Evertonian, sat in the Gladys Street only till last season. We interviewed him at the Sleep Out. Brilliant lad, proper Evertonian, proper defender as well. I'd love to see him get a chance to just be part of a match day squad, sitting on the bench and maybe getting a chance to play for Everton sometime before the end of the season. Hopefully, fingers crossed we can do that sooner rather than later. But proper Evertonian. I would love to see this kid. This kid could be a future Everton captain if he's good enough. He's got the right attitude. He's got the right temperament. He's a proper defender. Obviously, time will tell if he's good enough. But I would love to see him. I'd love to see him involved. I sound like Kevin Keegan, don't I? I'd love to see him involved with the first team, because I just think that's what you want. Proper Evertonians. Proper young Scouse Evertonian, like we've got with Tom Davies and John Joe Kenny. Love to see another one. And obviously, as I said, Hornby maybe is someone different up front. I'm not saying he's ready by any means, but it just would be lovely to get these people a chance towards the end of the season if there's nothing to play for. Sooner there is nothing to play for, the better, as far as I'm concerned. So, good 2-0 win for them last night. David Unsworth doing a fantastic job at the under-23s. And finally, Kevin Friend has been appointed the referee for next week's game against Cardiff. There you go. It's not well, referees in general, they're not great, are they? So so there you go. The Tuesday topic, if you're on Patreon, make sure to check it out. We are talking about referees. We're talking about VAR. How important is going to be next season? Is it going to give it a much more level playing field? Is it going to stop the top 6 getting decisions that they seem to always get? Or is it going to make it even harder for everybody else? That's on Patreon. There's a little sneak peek of it on YouTube as well if you want to catch that, and on all the socials, Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for watching the Everton News Daily. I'll see you later.